All right, all right. Let us see if it's to be for us to stream tonight. Let's get everything right. So let's see. We got one. We got one. Let's get everything right so I can actually see. That helps. We got maybe two. Okay, let's go to the other one. So we got two. Three. We do have all three. Thank goodness. So I'm gonna ask a question that took a while to find out, but I already know the answer to now. That is, are we live? Said, are we live? Looks like we are. Vigilante Wednesday here on the 137th episode of VW Casual. Hope everyone's having a good night. Oops, not 13. That's what it says on Twitch for now. Let me edit that. Okay. That's right. Now we got it. Hey, Tom Jensen, appreciate you being here. Hey, Retro Richard. Is that a desert? Shout out to the desert. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet. Shout out to Yeet Man, Jay Uso. I like Jay Uso. Some people don't. I like him. It's not too many baby faces, period. Richard was saying that to me the other day or earlier. And I think that's part of the problem. That's why people like him. You need some genuine baby faces. You need people to cheer for. I think, in general, it's easier to be a heel. It's easier to be a heel because you can just piss people off. But I mean, and there's some good heels. So it's not just terrible ones. Actually, like his sister-in-law, Naomi, is doing pretty good as a heel. I know the women's division ain't the greatest, but I like what she's been doing. Yeah, you've been pulling for Jimmy Uso to win the title. A lot of people is sick of the Usos. I mean, my thing is this. They had the bloodline for, 4 years? So did you want Jimmy Uso or Jay, both of them to stay in the same place they were before? Find it hard for you to be a good guy. Hey, LDG. Appreciate you being here. Really appreciate you being here. Free the net. How is that free the net going? The women's division is okay. Yeah, they keep firing everybody. It's like they got to figure out what they want to do. Because it's like there's a lot of people they don't present on TV. And there's a lot of people you get tired of. It's just like they don't, I don't know. And this is not new. Some of this did happen under the Vince McMahon era as well. But like, they're not doing right by everybody. And it's almost like they're setting people up to be released. On the women's division especially, but even with the men, they're setting people up to be released because they're not giving them the time to really get over or really have characters or really have stories. I think they need to try to commit to giving more people more some time as opposed to giving some people like 20. You give your stars 20 minutes a show, 30 minutes a show, but everybody else, even if you only give them a minute, 5 minutes, you know what I mean? Something just to be on TV and have a story. And then next week, even that minute that they're on TV, something's progressed with it. It's that simple. Where the Michin go, off to Neverland. I remember, and I don't know, a lot of people don't like him, but it was a very logical way of booking. This is, and everything he ever said was logical, but this is, and this is, what's the guy? Older dude. He's a podcaster now like everybody else. Oh my God. Vince Russo, who was a part of Monday Night Wars on both sides. And he talks about when Steve Austin, when they were getting over, he says, listen, we did not push, quote unquote, Steve Austin. We looked at the quarter-hour ratings, realized every time he was on TV, they went up, and so we gave him more TV time. And that process continued until he became the biggest star in the company and maybe, for that moment in wrestling, and one of the biggest stars ever. That is a very organic way you say, who is, and I'm not saying they're not doing this at all. I got to imagine to some extent they're doing this, but that's what they had to commit to. Okay, who is giving us the most reaction? And I get that merch and other things are going to factor into play. It's not just the quarter-hour ratings. but it's like just who's doing the most to give them more time. I feel like there's this push to artificially tell the world who the stars are instead of making people stars organically. Now, I will say this, that time in the mid-late 90s when Stone Cold rose, he was really referring to the year 97, 96 and 97. After that, obviously he was red hot for basically the end, or until the end. Hey, Fizz, till now, still beloved Stone Cold Steve Austin. But there was a lot more space, it seems like, to be a top guy. But there's a lot of space because most of the top guys don't come every week. Pause. So I don't know why they do that. That's another thing. I understand why they did that with Brock Lesnar as an individual, but I don't understand them doing with everybody, even though I think it's just them being cheap. So that's the wrestling podcast for the week. That's the wrestling podcast for the week. We talk about music podcasts. Where are we? Trying to situate a lot of real life stuff, and once we get that stuff situated, I'll be able to share some of this music. And also I fucked up something. This is relevant for the channel. My mask. I fucked up my mask. So I was trying to, as you guys know, who are long-term fans of the channel or fangelantes or just people who just watch me throw up on myself each week and each night, I can't really see out of the mask. So I tried to change the eyes and it did not go well. So I'm going to see if a local seamstress can fix it. I hope they can. Which is probably what I should have did anyway. But I thought maybe I could do it. So we'll see how that goes. Jordan Peele's next movie is about a college football player joining a satanic cult to make it big. Yeah, I did see the preview to that. I think it's called Him or something like that. Way to let people know how this shit really works. This isn't shocking. Speaking of satanic cults, Indiana Pacers won again, Game 7 Sunday. It's been a joke that he's Halliburton, who I thought was going to be out, had like some satanic stuff. Maybe he does. We were just talking about Epstein, Diddy, and all that stuff. There's a lot of satanic stuff. Hey, Courtney, appreciate you being here. Hope everything's okay with you. They usually let us watch trailers. We may be able to watch it and then have to cut it out. We can watch the trailer to that Him, as it's called. I'm not sure when it's coming out, but let's check it out.
Do you want this? I said, do you want this? If you want to transcend the game, you have to dig deep. Your mind and your body have to be in sync. Talent is how hard you're willing to work. No days off. No sleep. We grind. I'm never good enough. I'm never good enough. That's how great people think. So you're gonna have to ask yourself, what am I willing to sacrifice? This ain't a fucking game, man. This is everything. Do you want this? What are you willing to sacrifice? You fucking say it! Say it! Say it! Everything! And show me.
Fucking right? Like, is that what they really do? Is that what's going on with all the players we see in the NFL? Some crazy shit like that? They had to do all the satanic shit just to be a quarterback. And then it's not just satanic shit. They're on steroids. They got some scanning system. Are we watching superhumans out there? I know it's just a movie, but the truth is said in jest. They put a lot of shit in these movies. So you got to wonder, are we watching genetically enhanced athletes? And I mean, shit, in a lot of cases, the answer is yes. We know a lot of people use PEDs anyway, genetically enhancing themselves off rip, and they don't get caught. We know a lot of HGH has been getting used for a while. We heard tons of rumor about, Shaq being an experiment from the military because he got a military dad. Jordan being an experiment from the military because he got a military dad. Something about LeBron and Curry, they both born in the same hospital. There's all sorts of, weird stuff. There's rumors that some of these athletes that we've come across have indeed been genetically enhanced. So it looks pretty crazy. And again, we just know they are. Like, it's not just, that it is, but just some of them enhanced from birth. Like total super soldier shit. On top of roids, on top of all this other shit. Yeah, it has some eyes wide shut elements. I might check that one out. I don't know when it's dropping, but I might check that one out. That looks interesting. And I know not everybody likes Pill. Jordan Pill. He's still Pill from Key and Pill. To me. Yeah. But does it have a date? I'm looking. What's the date? Because this was from April 18th. I don't know if we have a release date. Maybe it's waiting till the fall. That would make sense. Not only do you get football season. Yep, it's coming out September 19th. So they're waiting till the fall. That makes sense to be around both football season and the Halloween kind of season. Maybe October would probably been a better one. I mean, just go a couple weeks and get it in October. Well, they showed a syringe, too. You definitely saw the satanic stuff. But they showed a syringe. That it doesn't necessarily have to be steroids. It could be as we know, they like to numb people. So it could have been for that. And then they had this little body scanning thing. So that's what made it seem like they also apply some enhancement that way as well. But we don't know. But, and how true to life is that? And we've heard these rumors. So now you make a movie about it? I don't know, man. We'll see. But like I said, I'm kind of interested, so I may check that out in September. Some of the Jordan Peele stuff I like. I think Get Out and Us was okay. I didn't check out the Alien one. I didn't like Get Out as much. I liked Us a little bit more. That was a little creepier, and not to spoil it, but it was much about doppelgangers, and that was creepier. I don't know why. Like, Us was pretty creepy to me. Get Out was creepy, but it was almost borderline hilarious. Like, so I don't know. Since not here, I would like to see what he thinks of the Clips, their new music, and what's his name, Pusha T going at Travis Scott. And it's cool the Clips even doing music. So shout out to Malice, No Malice, back making music. That's dope. But yeah. So I haven't been paying attention in World War III, or to are they still protesting everything right now? I think I did see something. I forgot what I saw. Something orange. I think he said, oh yeah, it was Juneteenth. I think Orange Man said something about there's too many holidays, which there are not. I mean, America works more than any country. You know what I'm saying? Weapons, don't know why it's called that yet, coming out this year. I don't know if I heard of Weapons. But, I for the anti-DEI, listen, I'm not a big fan of Juneteenth. I'm not a fan of, hey, remember slavery every fucking 5 minutes. But at the same time, the American working public gets so fucking few holidays, man. We get so few holidays compared to the rest of the world. We're so burnt out. I'm burnt out. Next protest is July 4th. I'm not shot. So, okay. We can watch that trailer, too. Mystery horror film. Let's find that trailer. They got dates for them yet. Because it's a tour. It's not real. It's a tour. We don't have real... Listen, we're constantly seeing the lack of entertainment offset by politics. There's no real artist that everybody wants to see, you know what I mean, right now, to going on a summer tour. Like, if you're like a rock metal guy or gal, there's always something going on then. But nothing like super big. And that's, you know, the industry has kind of ate itself for so long that there's no more real fans. And I think most people just don't give a fuck about music, to be honest. I don't think you have as many. You do have some music fans, but most people just whatever. So music's in such a state. Well, we need to go on tour or something. Okay, well, let's go on tour with politics. Let's go on tour with motherfucking protests. Because that's something that's actually going to bring motherfuckers out. Both talent and nobody cares. And it's so hard to get from 0 to 100 as far as the artist. And I got a plan, but it's going to take fucking forever. Still taking forever just to release what I got. Shit's so tough. So we're just at, part of the reason of the politicization of everything was the failure of everything. Everything's now political out the orange, pun slightly intended, because that's the new entertainment source. And so now we're starting to treat these things like entertainment sources. I need to turn the socials off for a month. No, you won't miss it. You'll feel like you missed everything, but you'll really miss nothing. A bunch of stuff will have happened that doesn't matter. That's what will happen. I need to do the same. I need to just lock in with music, not just for the sake of releasing it, but just for the sake of, I don't know. I took a break after I kind of got as far as I did with the album, and I've been focused on one song for a little bit too long. Now I'm starting to finish up the rest of them. And it's like, I'm starting to get back into writing new music and playing instruments and making sure it's still therapy and making sure I'm still doing it for the love of the game. Getting back into that. It's going to be fun. I'm not going to, after I release these few albums, cause I'm going to start to focus one song at a time. So at the next couple months, get everything situated paperwork-wise and get everything out the door. And then we're going to try to focus one single at a time per month, maybe two. But that'll be the goal. And we'll see how that goes. And then, while posting to we'll resurrect the music channel, start posting there too. And then we're doing a lot of sports content. I just wrapped up the recording for the NFC North. It's 4 different videos talking about the Lions, the Bears, the Vikings, and the Green Bay Packers, and what I think. A video for each team about what I think their season's going to go. The Lions is the longest one. Not Lions. I say Lions. Yeah, Lions. Well, Lions, Tigers, Bears on mine. The Lions is the longest one. So yeah, that'll be fun. And the Bears is the next one because of our coordinator going over there to the Bears. So that ended up drawing out the length. But it's gonna be fun to do all these different videos. So next week it'll be those 4 videos. The week after that we'll get the AFC South. So that'll be the Texans, the Titans, and we'll talk about how fucked up that rivalry is because of the ownership and the Oilers history, and Jags, and then the Colts, who going to be an interesting team. The Bears. Didn't Mike Ditka die? Rest in peace. Or was it the guy who played him in that sketch? I think George. I know he passed from Cheers. Rest in peace. But yeah, the Bears. It's gonna be an interesting season. It's not. I'm trying to somewhat pay attention to baseball. I like watching Shohei and Tani. I like watching the Tigers and the Astros. They're both good teams. I'm still not quite caught up to this shitty batting average. Everybody try to rake home runs, but a lot of people can't hit home runs. It's what's weird to me about everybody trying to be a home run hitter. It's like, okay, one, the swing is everyone's trying to do this uppercut swing. Not everyone, right? But that's what a lot of people doing. And it's like, if you're Aaron Judge, if you're Reggie Jackson who had the uppercut swing, you're one of these guys that you're super big and that's just how you swing. Fuck it, swing that way. But to get all these Sami Zayn skinny fat motherfuckers and try to force them to be Aaron Judge, it doesn't work. Like, I don't get it. I don't get that. It's another sport ruined by analytics. Maybe the first sport ruined by analytics. Analytics has to stop. It's time to stop. Like, this idea that we just look at the numbers to the extent that we don't pay attention to the result that is happening has to stop. And that is happening in baseball and football and basketball. We're seeing it somewhat play out of football because of the physical element, but it's still alive and well in baseball and basketball, and it's leading. Baseball still I still like watching it. I ain't gonna lie, because baseball is what it is. But it does annoy me to see so many, and then the pitchers who they can throw hard, but a lot of them don't have any fucking control, and then a lot is left to us. Just, I don't know, analytics. Yeah, not a big fan. And then these pitchers don't last that long in the game. Pause. Then a lot of them get injured because now we're just teaching guys how to throw as hard as possible with no regard for their body, no regard for all the other elements, no regard for trying to cause ground balls. Nothing. It's like, this is just, I don't know. But it's still interesting enough to watch. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old man yelling out of the cloud, but I don't feel that way because I also don't really see the youth as somebody who watches quite a bit of YouTube content dedicated to sports. I'm not saying I don't see no young creators. There are a few good young creators in the space, but it just feels like less. And maybe some of that's just YouTube's indomitable, abominable algorithm. Yeah, there's no Greg Madisons. Exactly it. Brandon Hollow. I don't even know if they would. He said Astros ready to piss everybody off. They're not doing too bad. I know some people say this is it's over, but I mean they're still in the top of the American League West. Let's see. The Tigers are at the top of the Central. Seems like the MLB expect pitchers to have a healing factor. They don't care about, like, I don't understand why you would pay for pitching or starting pitching at least, because it seems like the bullpen matters more than the starters now, because you have pitchers that pitch every day and don't pitch but a couple innings every day, and you just more about middle relief, and you have an opener in some cases. It's just like, I don't know what the plan is, but this doesn't work. There's a reason pitching was what it was, and it was different pitchers who had different stuff. We've turned the problem with analytics is it does away with archetype, crowns one archetype, and then forces everybody to fit that archetype rather they physically, mentally, otherwise can. And so that's why these pitchers are going to keep tearing their arms apart. It's just not going to work. Ravens say they have a top defense. Lamar is 0 for 4 for making the Super Bowls with a top 5 defense. I don't believe in the Ravens and the Bills, man. I kind of think both franchises are doomed to go this whole era without a title. I just don't believe in either team. Until they prove me right, I won't believe in them. I'm predicting the Houston to jump over. Houston and the Chargers to maybe jump over. I think Houston and Chargers might be the because I'm boldly predicting, not for the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is spoiler for all the videos I'm gonna do over the next few weeks. But I mean, a lot of these opinions I already know where I'm going. I think Kansas City is still going to make the playoffs, but I do not think they're going to win that division. I think the AFC West is going to have the best division in football record-wise. I think Denver is going to come up. I think Chargers are going to win that division, and even the Raiders are going to win like 7 or 8 games. So I think Chiefs will be 11-6 wild card type team. That's what my guess is. Bills didn't. Yes, the Bills made the 4 Super Bowls back in the 90s and didn't win any of them. Are we in World War III? Man, because of Iran, we kind of are. We'll see how that plays out, Wade. We'll see how it plays out. What's your thoughts on the NFL season? Let's instead of talk about World War III and Iran, because I don't know what the hell to do with that. What do you think about the NFL? Wade, you're a sports guy to some extent. I know you like a college football game. Your pick for the Super Bowl, or picks for just to be good or bad? Regime change in Iran, meanwhile Russia and China puss out and back off. The wars aren't interconnecting yet. Not yet. I hope World War III doesn't happen. I hope it's a fear. The Cold War gimmick was, oh man, nuclear war is right around the corner, and it would never happen, right? Hopefully that's what happens with World War III, where we fear it, oh man, it's right around the corner, but it never happens. I don't think nobody really wants it. At least I hope not. Because if they do, it'll happen. They may want a little conflict. They may want a little bullshit, but I'm hoping that nobody wants it. But we're going to find out. Oops. We are going to find out. We're going to find out. There is a lot. I will say this. Amongst the elites, amongst the people, the powers that be, there is some disagreement. If there was none, yeah, a lot of this is for show, but there's some disagreement amongst certain groups compared to other groups on how to split the pie up. There always will be. Why would Russia fight against Israel, for instance? Chargers suck, Raiders suck, Broncos suck, Chiefs and Lions. Chiefs bad, Lions suck. Not as bad as the Browns. Yeah, the Browns, brother. Browns and Broncos, the AFC title. If the Browns make it to the AFC title, that'd be crazy. That's be the biggest shot. I don't think the Browns are going to win 2 games. Maybe 2 or 3. That team looks like a disaster. And they got Myles Garrett. He'll get a bunch of sacks. That team will go nowhere, man. I guess they got Jerry Jeudy. He's a decent receiver. I just don't see. It depends on Sanders. Is he going to be? He better be able to beat out Joe Flacco. He's got to be able to beat out Joe Flacco. I don't know about the other rookie. Texas go 9-0 at home. Jacksonville going to be a movie. Jacksonville, I think. We'll see how the off the field shit happens. We'll see how this girl acts in Jacksonville, because she's gonna do something and it's gonna fuck something up. She's gonna fuck a teammate, bro. What's gonna happen when she fucks a teammate? That's gonna be the question there. Will Anderson Jr. is gonna be a monster. I think the Texans. There's some other teams that scare me. I mentioned the Packers, and you'll see it next week. They scare me too. I realized the Packers had 31 fucking turnovers as a defense. They turned motherfuckers over, and they had a good rushing defense. Packers are a legit team that nobody's talking about. Nobody is talking about them because they don't have a lot of splashy moves. They're a scary team. There's a bunch of teams like this that are scary. It's just not – this ain't going to be just like – I don't think the 49ers and the Cowboys are going to be as good as everyone thinks. A lot of people are just thinking they're going to come back in the playoffs because everyone's – I don't think so. Travis Hunter girl going to cost them the season. Well, luckily they're so bad, they're going to cost themselves. Flacco is only because of how much he sucks. Sanders in Oregon. Oh, yeah, the Oregon QB then, Flacco. Lions are better than Packers. I think we are too. I got us 12-5. Spoilers for next week's videos. Us 12-5. Packers 11-6. Vikings 9-8. And the Bears 7-10. That's what I got for the NFC North. Nico J. To me, man, all these young pass catchers between Nico's only year 5. I mean, yeah, he's still a veteran, but still he's only year 5 himself. Then you got Higgins. Christian Kirk is a veteran. I forgot how many years he's played because he's played for a couple teams. But then you got what's the other rookie they drafted? Is it Noel? Man. And then what do you do the year after? Because Tank will be back by then. Broncos Super Bowl underdog. I can see Broncos. That's another team that's pretty scary. We like, man, this defense is really good. And Bo Nix was like top 6 for touchdowns. He threw like almost 30 touchdowns as a rookie. Said Jalen Noel and Christian Watson. It's a lot of people to throw to. This should be the offensive line can't be as bad as it was last year. And you should be able to scheme it into something. And getting Nick Chubb was huge. So now you can really lean into get between him and Mixon, you can lean into those carries, and that's what helps your offensive line. Because now your offensive line gets to run block a lot more than pass block. Run blocking is a lot easier, and they get to put some more pain on that defensive line. You can really rack up. Like, you can really be a run-first offense if you're the with getting Chubb, depending on how Chubb is. But even if Chubb fails, you still got Marks and what's the Pierce? You still got other guys to eat up those carries. You know what I mean? You should they should aim for 500 carries between those running backs this year. That should be a realistic amount of carries. I don't have time for World War III either. That's why I'd rather talk about football. You mean Justin Watson, the Chiefs receivers he came to Houston? I didn't know he had Chiefs receivers. Cowboys. A lot of people are picking the Cowboys. They got George Pickens. He's already complaining. That'll be fun. Dakota Rain Prescott, still the quarterback. I mean, he has had good years a couple years ago. He 36 touchdowns, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. The schedule is a little easier. It's not super easy. They can go 10-7. They can go 10-7. But they're going to get bounced in the playoffs, bro. If they do make it to the playoffs, they're going to get bounced. They're going to get bounced. I hate to say it. I'd love to say it. Fuck the Cowboys. Sorry, man. So I kind of tuned out. A lot of people tuned out the Cowboys. I'm thinking they're going to be 9-8. I don't think they're going to be 10-7. I think it'll be just outside the playoffs and really piss everybody off. But we will see. We will see. They do got a talent, though. I mean, between CD and Pickens. And then, what's he doing at running back? I can't remember. But then, of course, you got Micah Parsons on the rush, the edge. They got something. They can be okay, but I still feel like 9-8. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I know not everybody likes sports ball. It's not really a sports ball podcast. We will be covering it coming up. Like I said, doing a video on each team. Just my thoughts on them. Because why not? Because I don't feel like sitting 3 hours to watch Batman again, the Batman, to do a review. And I don't want to do a review. As much as I dislike that movie, I don't want to do a review that doesn't do it proper justice, because it's just, it's a waste. It's a waste to do that. So yeah. But the World War III stuff, I know a few people were talking about that. We will see how that goes. I'm trying to focus on things in real life for me, but I do have my eye to that, because focusing on those things, I'm trying to get better, put a little bit of money in the stock market, this, that, and the third. And how the fuck, I don't want my shit to get crashed. NFC is up in the air. I think both sides are up in the air. I know everybody just so used to the Chiefs' dominance, but I feel like this is the year we have some upheaval in the AFC. And the NFC is completely up in the air. I mean, obviously, you still got the returning champs in the Eagles. We'll see how a team like the Commanders do. Obviously, they were kind of a surprise team. Their schedule will be a little bit tougher this year, so we'll see how they do. Of course, you got my Lions, and I think the division is going to have a couple of tough teams. I'm picking everybody almost around each other. It wouldn't shock me, as I say in the videos. I'm picking what I pick, and then I'd also give a floor and a ceiling for each team. So, some of these teams, you're talking about the Bears, I got them at 7, but it wouldn't shock me if they won 10 games. It's just how it is. It wouldn't shock me if the Cowboys won fucking around 11 games. It just depends how people play those days, you know what I'm saying? And we never know how good a team is before the season. We always think we know, but we always get shit wrong. So you see a schedule thing. I remember last year, Me and my brother thought our schedule, talking about the Lions, was hard. It ended up being a fairly easy schedule. So you never know. I mean, this year looks hard, but what if some of these teams you think are good? What if for the Rams, they, as much as I love Stafford, he finally ages up. He's just getting too old, and he finally has that he's too old year right then. Then the Rams are out of it. What if, you know what I mean? I think, and when I get to the Bills, this is something I want to mention. Their running game being a lot better is a huge thing. Did we ever watch the weapons trailer? I meant to watch that shit. I'm sorry. We'll watch that in a second. I still got that up, but didn't even check it out. But as far as the Bills, a lot of what happened last year was because of their running game. Not just Josh Allen's part of the running game. Obviously, he runs for a lot of touchdowns and runs for a lot of yards himself. But was it Cook? He had a really good year, and that helped a ton with what Josh Allen was able to do. And so, I think he held out. But I think he ended up making it into camp. Like, if something happens with that, I don't know if Josh Allen is the same quarterback. I know everybody wants to crown him, but, I mean, he's had multiple years of throwing multiple picks. And I know he's not the only one with those. When I say multiple picks, I mean over double-digit picks. I know he's not the only one throwing double-digit picks, but he'll throw 19 picks in a year. You know what I'm saying? He'll really gunsling. So we will see what happens with him. I know a lot of people are picking them for the Super Bowl. I'm not. I think, unfortunately, and I hope I'm wrong, for both franchises. I feel like the Ravens and the Bills are just, maybe that's the AFC Championship, but they just feel like, what do you call it? It's just not going to work out. All right. Took me long enough. Let's check out this Weapons official trailer. Let's see how this goes.
This is a true story that happened in my town. So this one Wednesday is like a normal day for the whole school. But today was different. Every other class had all their kids. But Mrs. Gandy's room was totally empty. And you know why? Because the night before, at 2:17 in the morning, every kid woke up, got out of bed, walked downstairs, and into the dark. And they never came back.
I don't understand at all. Why just her classroom? Why only hers?
Where are our children?
We have a lot of emotional parents here. I think it's best if you keep some distance from this place.
Matthew, where are you? Where did you go?
This is where the story really starts.
Yeah, that look kind of cold. Fish, you ain't kidding. That shit look kind of cold. Because it's not just everything all supernatural. Like, at first I thought they was telling us too much. But I realized there's so much more to the story. Because I kind of don't like trailers. You hate this movie trailer? Really? I think it looked interesting. I like Barbarian's movie, though, by the director. I see. I thought it was, and at first I did start to hate. I'm like, oh my God, you just told us the whole thing. But then when I realized, okay, there's more to this story. They're actually going to, I thought that was it. I'm like, oh, okay, so she did something. But now you kind of got to figure out the mystery. But Brandon Holmes said, hate the movie trailer. 0% chance to watch the movie. I'm not sure if I'll watch it. That's a whole nother can of worms. Top 3 offenses by yards last year, all drafted centers in the first round since 2018. Guess that matters. And we just lost our center. Don't tell me that, Harlem. Could be a story about pizza. I hope not. Could be a story about MK Ultra too. That's true. I feel and I hate stories about problems that don't exist involving minors. That's fair. That is where, you know what, they do put a lot of kids in horror movies and horror situations. Not saying they didn't before, but obviously Stranger Things, and then all sorts of, I mean, what we just saw. Isn't there another franchise that's dealing with kids? Oh, It. And Pennywise and stuff like that. They do like putting kids in these weird ass situations. Mentally frustrating more than entertaining. Fair enough. I understand that. Now there's some Jeepers Creepers shit. It is kind of pizza-esque that they even put the kids in these situations all the time. But that's crazy about top offenses all drafting the center. It matters. Hopefully our offense can still, we got so much talent. And I mean, I knew when we drafted Tate Ratledge that he would probably be a replacement for Frank Ragnar. I thought we would get a year, but which we didn't get. But we will see. Yeah, we don't know if the crime is sexual in nature. I hope it isn't. I really do. Please don't do that, man. I'm so sick of them being pizza with the kids. That's just fucked up, man. It looks like they're brainwashed and shit. Because I remember seeing a different trailer of them running through the crowd or running through the streets and shit. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Dude, maybe one center good enough to go in the first round next year. Yeah, that's another thing. Not everybody deserves to be a first rounder. I think, you know, both the Lions and the Texans didn't draft offensive linemen in the first round. And honestly, a lot of offensive linemen that it was only so many that was really got a first round grade. So you're better off going in the second round, third round. I said this in one of my videos, and I'll say it throughout. There are not 160 starting offensive linemen in America on Earth. Maybe on Earth, because I think if you grab some of those, what am I trying to think? Sumo wrestlers. I know the one guy from the Eagles is a converted rugby player. I don't think there's enough humans with how fast and how strong these defensive ends and these tackles and these linebackers and these edges and everybody are. I don't think there's 160 starting offensive linemen that we can produce as a society. There's not, we can't, because these motherfuckers are too fast, too strong. And so everybody, that's why everybody is, oh man, the offensive line is struggling. I can name about 4 or 5 teams that struggled with offensive line last year. Obviously the Bears, obviously the Texans, the Vikings. Oh man, offensive line is struggling. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's just always a team. Even the Rams, oh man, we had issues at offensive line. It's like, everybody has issues at offensive line because it's not enough motherfuckers to do it. It's hard to be 6'4", 350 with quick feet and great mobility and great and incredible strength and be able to read defenses. That's what you got to do as an offensive line. It's only so many motherfuckers that can do that shit. Taking Kenyon Green instead of Kyle Hamilton or Tyler Linderbaum was terrible. Man, sometimes motherfuckers cracking under that pressure when drafting. Because you can sometimes see that motherfuckers make decisions right in the middle of the draft that they would never make otherwise. Yeah, and to be able to do it almost year round, it's too hard to do. It's too hard to do. Especially if you can't do cut blocking and a lot of cheap shit you used to be able to do. That's how we got motherfuckers to do. Now it's like, no, you got to just really win these matchups. You got to really win these one-on-one. Sometimes you get help. You're on the interior, but you really got to win these matchups against like superhumans, someone like the strongest, faster. We have way more people who can rush the passer than who can protect the passer. That's just how it is. And linebackers, especially the first few weeks, it's hard to even run the damn ball because the linebackers are juiced up. Now, as time goes on, it gets easier and easier, but it's just like, man, those first few weeks when everybody's healthy and shit, some of these defenses are just fucking lightning fast. That's one thing. I say it again and again. They definitely look bigger, faster, stronger, or at least faster. I don't know if they're stronger. And actually, I don't think they're bigger. But these motherfuckers are faster. They're absolutely faster. Got something special in production, by the way. Something's coming out very soon. Congrats. Good luck. I hope it works out, man. I hope it works out. So that's dope. Keep working on stuff, man. Never give up. Never give up. Never give up on your passions. There's no need to. There's no need to. Life is short anyway. We gotta do what we love while we're here. So yeah, man. So cool. But I don't think it's enough offensive linemen for the whole league, and that's why we're having so many issues. Offense. So that's why you got to scheme around it. You got to scheme around it. Even the Lions that had a great offensive line, you know how many screens we threw? We threw a lot. We threw a lot of screens. We probably still throw a lot of screens. To do a lot of screens, a lot of runs, sometimes reverses, just anything to keep that offensive line, keep the defensive line guessing. I hope we still do. I know in my video I kept talking about I want us to be a little bit more vanilla because sometimes we can get too cute under Ben Johnson, and I saw that as a potential con for the Bears as well. But yeah, man, I don't want to give up all of it. Some of the reverses and some of that type of stuff. Just constantly, if you're on a D line, you don't know what the fuck's coming next. And plus, because we're willing to go for it, we can do something riskier on third down. We can throw a screen on 3rd and 8 because if we get to if we get 4 or 5 yards, we might go for it. So, and then because you're not thinking about a screen on 3rd and 8, that fucking screen goes. If we give it to Gibbs on the screen, he might take that motherfucker for 60. You know what I'm saying? And so that type of shit, that's scheming for your offensive line. You're not just letting them, this offensive line isn't good enough, so they're fucked. It's like, no, let's put them in position to succeed. And that's something coordinators got to do and just got to live with. Everybody's not going to get a great offensive line. You're going to have to get lucky. It is easier nowadays to get a quarterback and 2 receivers. Everybody gets a receiver. Seems like there's so many great receivers in the league. Everybody gets a receiver. Some people even get 2. Some teams even get 3, man. It's just so many great receivers across this league. So it's just certain positions you have a bunch of and certain positions you don't. As far as just talent, it's just how that shit goes. That's how it goes. But yeah, I'm excited about the NFL. That's why I'm talking about it outside of World War III. I guess I could look up and see what's going on with the latest. Like if you type in WW3, what happens? Wow. She just. Are we already in World War III officially? Yeah, it's Iran shit. Let's see. It says for Team Trump winning World War III begins in Iran and ends in Ukraine. He has the Snow White and the black one. What's going on here? Wow. Team Trump may be on the verge of understanding the U.S., NATO, and Pacific allies are being engulfed in a global war being waged by them against them by Russia and China. Initially, Ukraine was the most logical country in this multi-regional war for the West. Put its first one on board against the axis of evil. Is that what we're calling it? Now it's Iran. Whoo, boy. I don't know. For 46 years, Tehran has been waging its own war against the U.S. allies. Okay, so looks like Iran's happening. Fuck. Let's see. Trump called on Tuesday for Iran's unconditional surrender was welcome. So too was brushing off of Putin. The brief conversation they had Tuesday, Putin made an unserious offer to mediate between U.S., Israel, and Iran. of nuclear weapons program. Trump says, "Do me a favor, mediate your own conflict." Team Moscow was not pleased. 24 hours later, Russia's foreign military ministry issued a statement calling on Israel to stop targeting Tehran's nuclear sites, arguing ongoing bombardment could lead to global nuclear catastrophe. Holy shit. Once again, the Kremlin's faced with a geostrategic setback, resorts to nuclear bluster and fear-mongering. The Biden administration, the former NSA, Jake Sullivan fell for it again. Team Trump must not. So, shit's happening. What was the USS Gerald Ford? So, we got ships going towards the Middle East, which I think some of you guys have told us. So, it's cracking. That sucks. I'll take the palate cleanser away. I don't know what's about to happen.
He's not a one-trick pony. He can also get out of his stance, use his hands.
Oh, let's get this.
And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose.
He's not a one-trick pony. He can also get out of his stance, use his hands, and
he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose.
He's not a one-trick pony. He can also get out of his stance, use.
How do you like college football? It looks like it's too unpredictable for me. When all new info comes to light, Trump says, "Shit, give me weeks to decide." Yeah. Hey, Zombie Man, we're talking about World War III. Appreciate you being here. Hope you're doing all right. We'll see how that shit goes. Have they talked about like instituting a draft or what they would do with the like? We just go into World War III with what we got. What's the plan? What is the plan on that? That's scary. That's scary. I'm scared for the people in the military, man. I'm scared for the people who recently left the military to get called back. Like, if that should happen, I hope it don't. But that's, what does us in World War III look like? And how domestic is that going to be? Because if we're at war with a country like China, they make everything. If you could take Iran without China making a move on Taiwan, it really shuts them down. What if they do, though? What if the second you make a move on Iran, everybody just makes their move? I'm sure that's something that I'm not the only one to think about. Because if we're already calling World War III, that's kind of what we're expecting, right? Because when the whole Iran-Israel thing popped off, we were expecting that the U.S. is going to get involved, and that once the U.S. gets involved, everybody else is going to have something to say or something to do. That's the whole point. That's the whole reason we think it. So I don't know if China already wanted to make a move on Taiwan just off the strength. They've made move. I mean, they already made a move years ago on Hong Kong. To the point you can't even say shit. They got all sorts of weird ways to try to counter protest China's occupation or reoccupation of Hong Kong. So they already made a move on Iran, though. I mean, yeah, but that don't mean that nobody else is going to make a move. And remember, our media ain't always the best at telling us what the fuck is going on. Israel may have made the move on Iran on a date that China wasn't ready to make a move on Taiwan. Ruins the timeline. Maybe. I'm not going to act like a geopolitical expert, because I'm not. I just wish for the least amount of death and the least amount of bullshit to come out of it. That's all I hope. The latest is they keep trying to sell simple airstrike when the only thing that could work is boots on the ground and regime change. Oh, man. China can't invade Taiwan. They haven't built up the stuff they need for it yet. That's true, but like I said, they seem like they at least had some thinking about going and just taking Taiwan just for a while. Just the whole 2020s. The whole past 5 years, they seem like they We're going to make a move in Taiwan. And, you know, there's always that, you know, we joke about John Cena, but politically you can't even call Taiwan a country. So they already kind of soft have done that. So I'm not saying I hope you're right and they're not as prep as they need to be to make a move like that. And that we can get in and get out before they can. I hope that's what happens, but we will see. We will see. I guess it's easy to be doomer about this, right? It's easy to be very doomer. But I don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, I got a lot of regular life stuff to panic and freak out about. But I am worried about this. I'm not going to act like I'm, like it just don't matter. A lot of politics shit doesn't matter, but when we talk about World War III, you talk about dramatic loss of life, potential domestic attack. You talking about, I mean, you're talking about as bad as your imagination could get could be the reality. What is Love remix? Yeah. Go ahead and post the link. Take all Iran's oil fields. China's mostly reliant on oil. They can't get to them. If the West doesn't want it to, oh man. Let's see. So I'm not a geopolitical expert. You might know more about the situation than me. So China does get its oil from Iran. They don't have any other sources of oil. I know it's a big ass country to service, so maybe they need all the oil they can get, but they don't have other sources of oil. As big as that country is, they don't have any local sources. There's no oil in China. Yeah, feel free to toss the link, Zombie Man, if you ain't hearing. Color Charlie. Oh man, Shay Noor got a project. Okay, China is the world's largest oil importer. Did not know that. You think I would know that? So they get their oil everywhere else. I mean, I guess it does make sense for them to be the biggest importer with all the just how big it is. It's like there's no way they're gonna have enough. Even if they do have domestic sources, it's not gonna be enough for a country that big with that many people. Even if everybody doesn't have cars, there's too much stuff that has to run on oil. So they're the biggest country on earth, although outside of India, population-wise, it stands to reason they should be the biggest oil importer. When you search that Verizon demand, you turn on the man. I see all sorts of weird shit with my location too, man. Real creepy shit, man. Wild work. Oh man. So yeah, but I mean, what the fuck do you do? What do you do? It's like, and they got these fucking protests. It's like, man, we might have some real shit going on. Some real shit. So I don't know. I do not know. Hate's just saying that, but there's no way I can fucking predict fucking World War III. No way I can predict. I didn't predict that it would happen this year. I guess I've always hoped that World War III don't happen in my lifetime, if at all. You know what I mean? But we may not get that lucky. You know, I didn't want COVID to happen in my lifetime, but it fucking did. It had a lot of impact and a lot of negative for a lot of people. Unless you're rich. It was the biggest wealth transfer of all time. The rich got infinitely richer and the poor got infinitely poorer. And we're still dealing with the fallout from that. And we'll be dealing with that probably most of our lives. So, complete fucking nightmare that is. I'm kind of waiting to see, Zombie Man, if you can toss this link. Because I might get out of here a little early. I usually like getting an hour and a half. After you toss the link, you know, depending on what the conversation, you know, we got an interesting conversation, we'll keep going. I've been trying to stream. I'm pissed that I fucked up that mask because I was gonna do more vertical streams because that helps a little bit. I keep seeing so many fucking goofy ass vertical streams people using their phone. The West can stop all the oil from getting to China except some of the oil from Russia. I see, and that's probably not gonna be enough for China. But that's something we can do. That's something we can do. Let's just hope the China. I think we're all hoping that between China, Russia, and America, it stays as cold as possible, right? That none of them start using big guns at each other. It sucks for Iran. And we'll see if anyone has something to say about Iran as far as Russia, but it's just, I don't know. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Everything's unfortunate. But what the fuck do you do, man? Interesting, yeah. What do you do? What do you do? Like, I don't like being Israel's lapdog for things. But I mean, that's just what America is. That's just what it is. It's coming, okay. Hold on. I'm coming. If you look up where Troll gets his oil, China gets his oil, it does not list Iran. I see. But when you look at who Iran sells his oil to, it says China. I see. Well, both of those things cannot be true. Somebody lying. I got the feeling that it's China because they got a rep, right? So that's pretty crazy. That's crazy. So trying to think of any other interesting stories before we get out of here. I guess I'm just gonna be on the hill. Sorry, I'm just on the Iran oil industry became ran by the UK. That's how BP is created. Did not know that. I don't know if it's 1D or not. Or if it's done or not. I'm not sure. Here you go. Okay, cool. I was about to look on the fucking hill for something to talk about. Thanks, man. All right. It's this new project with Hathaway. Oh, whoa, wrong button. All right.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love?
Zombie on the fucking beat.
I don't know. You're not there.
All right. That was What Is Love remix. It's just a new project. This new project with Hideaway. I feel like I was missing a Molly pill. If I had a Molly pill and a glow stick, I'd be right in. It's the return of Ja Rule. Yeah, if I had a Molly pill and a glow stick, that's what that was for. And Brandon Hollum said cutting the supply of Japan was what started WW2, or at least our involvement in WW2. So if we do a similar thing in China, make a similar result, this is gonna get messy. I think the point of no return has been passed, unfortunately. I mentally want the point of no return to not be here. I mentally want there to be a way back. It doesn't include global conflict. I just don't see how it is. Because if we're already this far along, it's probably already too late. It's just we're going through the escalation procedures of things getting to that point, and what does that look like for the next few years? Oh, man. Just when I try to get established, that's when the world keeps going shit. Taking Iran, reestablishing the petrodollar control with the U.S. dollar as the main wide world currency. But, I mean, I'm worried about the retaliatory conflicts. I mean, I guess in a short term, if you're just completely nationalistic, apathetic of what it does to other people, you might think of these as positives, and they probably, they're not the end of the world to make sure, because our economy, love it or hate it, is built on the dollar being the reserve currency, and a lot of that strength comes from the petrodollar. It comes from all the oil, controlling all the oil. I mean, so it's, I know a lot of people get mad when leftists and shit like that say, oh, you're colonizing, but like, just to some extent, it is absolutely the case. The oil is being colonized. Those resources are being colonized for the strength of the American dollar. That's not, that's why if anything goes wrong, that's why it's a joke. It's a meme. Oh, something has oil, they can use some freedom. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason for that. They can use a little freedom. They can use a little democracy. That's a joke, but it's true. It's true. So, but what is China? They're just gonna say, "Oh, okay, cool beans. We'll take you cutting us off of our fucking oil. We'll just eat it." No, I don't think so. And that's when things get scary. And then what's the retaliation of that? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I'm just a guy, got my own problems, trying to lose weight, trying to deal with this job shit, trying to deal with this money shit. Military force and control global trade, oil trade, and other trade is what establishes wealth, not printing pieces of paper. Very true. That's very true. It protects that wealth. It is the basis of that wealth. And it's the true, both sides have done whatever, as neocon or neo-libs. It just is what it is. Yeah, that's the faith and credit of the United States. That's what the dollar's backed by in theory, and that essentially means the work of the United States citizen and the resources of the United States government, including that oil. Because it's not backed by no fucking gold. So the strength of the that's why the military budget almost has to be what it is. Unfortunately, that loose money, that lost money that they can't find, goes to all these crazy CIA operations and all the wicked shit they do with that. But if we didn't have a powerful military, it's fucked up when they say they're protecting our freedoms. There's to some extent that's true. If we did not have a powerful military, we couldn't exist the way we do. But like it or not, that's just the reality of the situation. Brandon Hollum's correct. You are correct, sir. You are correct. But BH and everybody else, I'm going to get out of here. I got to start doing these streams a little bit earlier. Get a few more people in because I don't think notifications are going out. And hopefully this weekend you can get a VPN, which might help a little too. So they don't, in case they have my IP blacklisted for some reason, that'll help with that. 2-week deadline is probably them looking at a regime change plan and the plan for boots on the ground. Sheesh. I'm gonna have to check it. VPN Iran. No, not an Iran IP. That's the wrong direction. Having this conversation with your dad a long time ago, saying the U.S. could low key take over the entire world if we wanted by sheer military force. I would argue we have. Right? There's a reason. Love, hate, whatever, America. We're the straw that stirs the drink on the entire earth. Now, we don't operate with that military always in active situations, but the fear of that military is a lot, especially when you have a secondary. Why do you think that there's almost never talk of an invasion to the United States? You have a secondary military in the United States citizenry. Say what you want. There's a lot of guns here on top of it. Those two things, both offense and defense, do have an impact on what happens globally. And so on the soft wave, we kind of already have. We're not like, and then we got bases everywhere. We put bases everywhere. We put our boats everywhere. We kind of have. I mean, other governments get to operate. We operate as if we're quote unquote benevolent dictators. But in a way, we do. Years ago, mentioned Iran, the subject line, they blocked the financial transaction. Whoa. Tried to send a funny Venmo about Iran and it got blocked. That's crazy. But it must have been flagged. Oh, we got another song? Okay, we can get some more music in before we get out of here. But this will be, it's the same thing. We already played that. So we already played. Yeah, if you got another link, we'll check it out. But that's the What Is Love remix. Shout out to Bob Dylan. And whatever you. So I'll wait to see what Zombie Man has for us before we go out here. And I gotta wait for the delay. It takes forever for, like 10, 15 second delay before I say something before you guys hear it. But yeah, that link didn't work. I mean, it's the same link that we had before. Zombie. So we'll see. But that's crazy about the Venmo getting blocked, Brandon. That's wild work. Not shot. I mean, all sorts of words to get you blocked or get you blacklisted. I mean, we know that now in recent days and recent years that's been talked about. But that's been the case for a long time. That's been the case for a long, long time. Okay, here we go. Let's see what's going on with this. Oh, Shooting Star. Okay, it's a Bob Dylan remix. That's why we're shouting Bob Dylan out. Let's check it out, and then we'll get out of here. So, Shooting Star Bob Dylan remix. Shooting Star, Bob Dylan. It was a remix by Zombie Man. I'm not familiar enough with the original to know the difference, but it sounded pretty good. That was pretty good. You said your social credit score is terrible. Everyone on this channel, your social credit score is negative. I'm sorry to say. I apologize. Your social credit score hit. Y'all fucked, man. I'm fucked. We're all fucked. No one leaves the world a virgin. We all get fucked. All right, guys. I might be back tonight or tomorrow night. Well, I'm right the first time. Friday night. Hopefully I am and can get here a little earlier. Maybe play some games, something like that. Get back to games. Appreciate everybody watching this live or on the playback. You guys are loyal to the soil. Appreciate y'all all. I'll talk to you guys later. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. So if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night. God bless. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.